Well, Placido Polanco has been one of the hottest Tigers lately. In fact, his two-out single in the sixth inning last night gave the Tigers the victory in his last 16 games. Polanco hitting at a .349 clip. He'll be back in the lineup here this afternoon as the Tigers once again face the Royals. It is a beautiful day for baseball here in downtown Detroit. Welcome to Comerica Park, the final game of this series featuring Kansas City and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us for the final game of the series. Tigers going for the series win here this afternoon, and a good pitching matchup in this one, Rod, when you consider Edwin Jackson will take on Zack Greinke. We'll start with Edwin Jackson. He's been pretty good. He's been getting some victories lately, and they will be counting on him and leaning on him today.
Well, first and foremost, Jackson has very little margin for error because of the other guy pitching on the other side, and Zack Greinke. Also, Jackson has been outstanding here at Comerica Park in his career. He comes in with 8 wins and just 1 loss. And how he's gotten it done has been with a mixture of overpowering fastballs in the mid-90 range. He has a very good slider and also a changeup. But what he'll have to do today is he'll have to keep the ball in the ballpark. He's given up a lot of home runs in his last few starts, and he'll have to keep the ball down against this very good Kansas City Royals team in the month of September.
All right, now it's not going to be a picnic for the Tigers today. Zack Greinke will go, as we mentioned. Now, Greinke leads the American League in ERA, and really, Rod, with a little bit more run support, maybe running away with it in the victory column, but nonetheless, he's a tough customer.
He went through the entire month of July without getting a win, which is unheard of for a guy that has the kind of mound presence and stuff that Zack Greinke has. He has commanded his fastball better than any right-hander in the game of baseball today. And when he's able to get ahead of a fastball, he'll come with his swing and miss slider. The fastball, he locates in, he locates out. He'll also flip a very slow breaking ball up there on occasion just to get ahead of you. He feels his position. He holds runners well. There is not one thing that Zack Greinke does not do well on the mound. This will be a very tough afternoon for the Tigers and for the Kansas City Royals. It's a little bit tougher to see the ball here during the daylight at Comerica Park.
And a big game for the Tigers indeed. They wrap up the homestand, then hit the road. Of course, they got the 9-gamer coming up, the first 3 against those Twins, who right now are chasing them in the American League Central Division. Glad to have you with us this afternoon as we wind up the homestand. The race for the Central continues. Tigers-Royals, Game 3, next. Detroit, Comerica Park, the scene here this afternoon as we get you ready for baseball. The Tigers winding up This homestand, they hope to do so with a victory here and take the series against the Kansas City Royals. Each team with a victory so far in this 3-game set. Tigers taking the field. Edwin Jackson getting set to make another start for the Detroit Tigers under clear skies. Beautiful weather today. Nothing but sunshine here in the Motor City as we wrap up this series. We'll check out the Kansas City starting lineup. And the Royals look like this today. It'll feature Willie Bloomquist out at right field leading it off. Mitch Meyer batting second in left field. Billy Butler is at first base and hitting third. Mike Jacobs, the DH, batting cleanup, followed by Alberto Callaspo at second base. Miguel Olivo is the catcher, and the bottom three today for the Royals: Alex Gordon, Yuniesky Betancourt, and the former Tiger Josh Anderson batting ninth and playing in center field. Here is the Dodge scouting report on Edwin Jackson.
Jackson will need to make some adjustments on the fly this afternoon. In his last start against the Toronto Blue Jays, he gave up 3 home runs, all in hitter-friendly counts. And what he'll need to do today, in some of those fastball counts, throw a breaking ball or a changeup to keep the Royals off the fastball. No margin for error today. With Zach Greinke on the other side, he knows runs are going to be at a premium, so he needs to be at his best. And he has been somewhat of a workhorse this year, along with Verlander. He is up to 190 innings pitched, which is a career high for Edwin Jackson. Let's take a look at the defense behind Jackson in the ball game this afternoon. You've got Guillen back in left this afternoon. Granderson, stud in center field. Don Kelly is in right. You've got Santiago, Polanco, Cabrera in the infield. Behind the plate, you've got the youngster Alex Avila. And you know that Jackson by now is on the mound. Of course, the defense always presented by Chrysler and Jeep Superstores.
Edwin making his 30th start of the season here this afternoon.
145 strikeouts and 190 innings pitched. We told you that's a career high. The opponent's batting average is 242, but he'd love to improve or at least keep down the amount of home runs he's given up. He surrendered 24 of those bad boys this year.
So Jackson, who picked up a no decision in his last start, going 7 innings in a Tiger loss to Toronto, ready to go to work now as Bloomquist steps in to start things off for the Royals. First pitch of the ball game is outside to Willie Bloomquist. Nice day, as we mentioned. Gorgeous day, 68 degrees and sunshine here at the ballpark. Here's the 1-0. Showing bunt, he fouls it back. David DeJesus getting the afternoon off today. Bloomquist is out in right field. DeJesus was hit by a pitch last night to start the game. But regardless, he will get the afternoon off, and Bloomquist at 267 in their leadoff slot. He's had a good series, 4 for 6, as a matter of fact. Waves and misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jackson at 12-6, a very good ERA of 3.22. That is good for 5th in the American League. And the rookie Alex Avila catching him today. There's a bouncer back up the middle into center. Another hit in the series for Bloomquist, his 5th. So the Royals get what they wanted, the leadoff man aboard.
The Royals will probably try to steal a base or 2 this afternoon while Jackson's out there. And Jackson's one of the few starters the Tigers have in their rotation that teams will take the liberty of running against. He's not very quick at getting the ball to the catcher. Bloomquist attempted to steal a base in last night's game, and he was shot down by Gerald Laird on a perfect throw to Adam Everett.
20 steals this year for Bloomquist, caught for just the 5th time in last night's game.
And I mean, that throw was perfect.
They usually are from Laird. He's been on the money most of the season. 0-1 on Mitch Meyer. There's Gerald. Chilling today. Got the shades on, relaxing, a day off. High fly ball lifted into right field where Don Kelly is playing today, and he will haul it in.
Take a look at the throw that Laird made last night. And one of the things that impresses you with Laird is, one, the footwork. And the ball never stops. Once the ball gets in his glove, he kind of just transfers it to the throwing hand, and he makes perfect throws right on the bag. And the shortstop allowed that ball to get deep enough to where all he had to do was catch it and then drop the tag on Bloomquist.
Does he have one of the quickest releases, do you think, in the American League?
One of the quickest that I have seen in recent memory. Of course, Pudge Rodriguez comes to mind. We had a
a privilege of watching him for 4 years here in a Tigers uniform, and he was lethal at throwing the baseball. But accuracy, footwork, all the above, Laird has been one of the best I've seen in a while.
Here's Billy Butler batting at .299. Butler, alert the media, is 0 for 7 in this series, believe it or not.
They've kind of slowed him down a little bit. A couple of ways. One way is they're really not pitching to him at all. Not getting a whole lot to hit.
Chopper hits slowly towards short. Santiago flips to second. He is safe there. Relay to first is going to be late, and everybody is safe for the Royals.
And that's exactly what Butler has done a lot of in this series. He has grounded out weakly to the left side of the Tigers infield because they've kept him off balance. They start him off with fastballs, then they throw him some slow stuff, which gets him out in front, and he rolls over to Santiago on that occasion.
So it's a fielder's choice, allowing Butler to reach, and now the Royals have something going here. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Mike Jacobs. While the Tigers have slowed down Butler in this series, they have not had a whole lot of trouble with Jacobs all year long. He's batting just .174 against Tigers pitching this year. Got some power, though. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Jacobs has 17 home runs, which is still a far cry from the total he posted last year over the National League with Florida. He had 32 last year. Got that upright stance, trying to put his team ahead early in this game. 0-2.
Take one more look at this what appeared to be routine ground ball to Santiago. Bloomquist not running, but able to beat the throw at second base. Santiago just taking his time, and Bloomquist got there and not able to turn the double play. You've got to get at least one out there. It's a good hustle play there by Bloomquist.
Good block there by Avila. Well, Bloomquist got there so quickly, it's as if he was running on the play, but he wasn't.
Well, he's one of those guys that hustles. He gets a base on balls and he sprints down to first base. That's the way that he plays the game. That's the way that he's always played the game.
And he's having one of his better years. In his first year with KC.
Doesn't cost you anything to hustle. And Bloomquist hustles.
1-2 on Mike Jacobs. Royals batting here in the first, just underway from Comerica Park. Lifted back out of play. Jacobs was up in a key spot last night. Brandon Lyons struck him out as part of that huge 8th inning that the Tigers pitched so well in terms of coming out of the bullpen.
It does not get much better than what Brandon Lyons was able to do in the 8th inning, coming in with runners on first and third and nobody out against their most dangerous hitter, Billy Butler. Fascinating job.
And really what amounted to be a very must-win situation last night for the Tigers. Runner going to third, and it's fouled back out of play, so Bloomquist was on the move.
Oh. Runners on first and third and going up against Billy Butler. He got him to ground out weakly back to the pitcher. Could have got 2 here, but he took the out at first, so now you got second and third. And you've got 1 out, then you get the strikeout, and then with the base open, they went after Kayaspo. He threw that cut fastball, sawed his bat in half, and got out of that jam, and that allowed Rodney to come in the 9th for a 1-2-3 save. They should have given Lyon a save as well.
Yeah, maybe issue a save and a half last night.
They got to do something with that hold rule.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bloomquist was off and running on that last pitch before that one, and Jacobs popped it up foul, but he did not have a good jump at all. And running with a left-hander up, your number 4 hitter, that is risky. You better make it, or don't go back to the dugout.
Just go straight to the bus.
Straight to the bus.
2-2 on Jacobs. Leadoff single by Bloomquist. Butler then reaching on a fielder's choice with 1 out, and now they have him at first and second. Jacobs this year 55 RBIs. Their leading RBI man is Butler with 80, and he hits third in their lineup.
No need for Jackson to pay a whole lot of attention to Bloomquist. He doesn't have a good lead, and Santiago is right in his back pocket, holding him on from that shortstop position, which means he's not going to get a good jump. You just make sure you make a very good pitch to Jacobs here, which he does.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. That's the first strikeout of the ball game for Edwin Jackson. 2 gone. He's going to bring up Callaspo.
And the fastball in the mid-90s above the belt buckle is one of the toughest pitches to catch up to, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. It looks good to you, and by the time you start your swing, and the ball is up and it's by you, and you cannot get on top of it.
So Callaspo 3 for 8 in the series, including a home run. Hits .297.
Were you surprised at all they pitched to him runners on second and third in that 8th inning?
That's driven foul down the right field
with
line.
2 outs and a base open.
Well, I was asking a couple of the Tigers before the game about that today, and there was some thought that maybe you walk Callaspo and go after the right-hander, who I believe was Miguel Olivo.
Olivo, it was
on deck, but it worked out.
Oh, it worked out perfect
because Brandon Lyon, he got in his kitchen, man, and he jammed him, and Callaspo popped straight up for the final out. But with first base open, you could see how he might have been a good walk candidate, especially with the way he hits against Tigers pitching. Pickoff throw is not in time.
That's a good play. Not necessarily trying to get a pickoff here, but you're just trying to make sure that Bloomquist does not get too big of a secondary lead, which would make it impossible on the Tigers outfielder to throw him out. And should Callaspo get a base hit. And by making him aware of the fact that you'll throw back there, he won't get as good a secondary or as good a jump on a base hit.
Another point to your question is perhaps Jim Leyland felt because he had a veteran guy out there in Brandon Lyon that he knew that Brandon might not or would not make the bad pitch to Callaspo, and if Callaspo gets himself out, then you get out of the inning. Otherwise, just don't give anything too good to hit.
That's a great point. I know Rick Knapp went out and talked to Brandon Lyon right before that pitch, so I'm sure he may have had something to say like that.
The 1-1. Driven toward the gap in left center. Grandy on the run, stretching out and can't get it. It'll go to the wall. This might get 2 runs in. Bloomquist scores. Here comes Butler chugging around third, and he will score. And Callaspo again tortures Tigers pitching. It's a double and 2 RBIs.
Looked like a fastball up, but he was able to get to it. Callaspo, he has been slashing from both sides of the dish all year long, and he is beat up on some Tigers pitching. And Granderson must have been shading him a hair to the second base side of second base, and he could not run that line drive down. He's had a nice year, Callaspo.
64 RBIs. And the Royals have taken the lead first for the 3rd straight game in this series. 2-0 KC. Here is Olivo. He's had 4 RBIs in the series, including a triple and a homer. Jackson's 1-0.
Jackson not able to pitch around that mental mistake by Santiago by trying to get that out at second base. But you also have to give Bloomquist some credit for running as hard as he was to beat that forced play. But it's a big play as we speak.
Wave and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, if they get the out there, Jacobs becomes the 3rd out of the inning, and they don't get their 2 runs. Instead, 2-0 Royals. 1-2 on Miguel Olivo. 20 home runs this year. And he checked his swing high. 2-2.
And maybe Jackson's doing it by design. And I'm talking about the majority of the fastballs he's thrown here in the 1st inning have been up above the belt buckle of Kansas City hitters. But he's rushing a little bit with his body, getting out there too soon, which causes the arm to lag and the arm angle to drop, which creates elevated fastballs. You have to make sure you get to that good balance point while you're standing on the rubber, which allows the arm to catch up so you can get on top of the ball and throw downhill. Jackson's about 6'4", 6'5" inches. Should be no problem for him to throw downhill.
Here's the 2-2. Avila down to block another one. He's done that a lot here in the first inning. 3-2 with Callaspo at second base. This will be the 25th pitch coming up in this half inning for Edwin Jackson. And it's popped up. Right side of the infield. Cabrera calls off Jackson. Edwin wanted to make that play. 2 runs in of the double by Callaspo. We played one half in the finale. 2-0 KC. First inning, here is the Tigers starting lineup presented by the Romani Eye Institute. It'll be Curtis Granderson leading it off in center field. Placido Polanco batting second at second base. Then Carlos Guillen, Miguel Cabrera cleaning up. Huff is your DH. Avila is catching. Bottom 3 features Kelly, Inge, and Santiago. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Zach Greinke of the Royals. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Zach has said the command of his fastball is finally back. He went through the entire month of July without getting a win by and large because he didn't have good control with that fastball. Is he the best pitcher in baseball? I mean, you wouldn't get an argument from a lot of people. That's how good he has been. He's at the top of the list as far as the Cy Young is concerned, and he will be running away with the Cy Young with any run support whatsoever from his teammates.
So for the 5th time this year, Greinke will make a start against the Tigers. Granderson leads it off. Curtis at 250. 3 hits in the series, including a double. Pops it foul back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Granderson.
Unbelievable control Zach Greinke has with his fastball to both sides of the plate in the mid-90s at the knees. His slider is a swing and miss pitch. Very seldom throws it for a strike. His curveball, he has very good command with that, as he does with his changeup. And every now and then, he'll throw you a real slow breaking ball, too.
And Granderson is caught looking for the first strikeout.
Well, that is some of that command that I'm talking about that Greinke has in the mid-90s. There's a difference between control and command. Control means you can throw a strike when you want to. Command means you can throw that strike when you want to and where you want to throw it. He has command.
Greinke has already thrown over 200 innings this year as he faces Polanco. And in 205 innings, he has walked just 42.
He is unbelievable. Fields his position well. He holds runners well. He probably will win a Gold Glove this year in the American League with Mike Mussina going bye-bye. Mussina had a stranglehold on that Gold Glove in the American League for a number of years.
Polanco, 2 out of 4 in the ball game last night. Yanks it foul. 2-1.
Greinke's numbers are off the chart. 6 complete games. He has 3 shutouts, an earned run average a shade over 2. You already talked about the strikes to walkouts ratio, strikeouts to walks ratio.
Impressive.
It's had a great year.
All the way down the line, swing and a miss. 2-2. And to think just a couple of short years ago, Greinke was considering giving up the game of baseball with the off the field issues that he had in terms of some of the problems mentally he was going through, but he's made it back and he is dominant.
He wasn't having any fun.
No.
When Greinke came to the big leagues, he was a very young kid, and the Royals had a veteran team that was losing lots of games and really had no one to talk to, no one to hang with. He just was not having any fun. He's having fun these days.
He's still only 25 years old, out of Orlando, Florida. Strike called on the inside corner. Polanco didn't like it, and that's the second strikeout for Greinke. Lost it over with a couple of words for Paul Emmel.
He punched Granderson out with a mid-90s fastball away from the left-hander. Then he comes back at the knees at 95 to get Polanco.
So both strikeouts called strike threes, and here is Carlos Guillen. Sporting a different look these days, or at least today, with the high socks up to the knees. Carlos at 243.
Just a few short weeks ago, Zach Greinke set a record, Kansas City Royals record, with 15 strikeouts against the Cleveland Indians. 15 of them.
Here's the 1-0.
Ooh. See, that's not fair. It's not. You go from 95 to 74, and you throw a strike with it.
Well, it may not be fair, but they allow it, unfortunately.
And the same arm speed as you're throwing your 95-mile-per-hour fastball with.
1-2. We're talking about those 15 strikeouts. It broke the record of Mark Gubicza almost 21 years earlier to the day when Gubicza struck out 14. Gubicza was also a number 23. The 1-2 is in the air to right field on a line and caught. Nice play by Bloomquist. Like it was knuckling on him a bit. Tigers go 1-2-3. We played one inning. 2-0 Royals. Player of the game today, using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to FSDET or 37338. That's 37338. See the final results post game during Tigers Live. You can pick your Tigers player of the game. So far here today, it is 2-0 in favor of the Royals. Alex Gordon will lead it off as we head to the second. Gordon and then Betancourt and then Anderson against Edwin Jackson. Edwin threw 25 pitches in that first inning, in which he gave up 2 runs. Gordon 1 for 5 in this series, batting .204. he will look to regroup and come back strong next year. He had the hip surgery at the beginning of the season, which forced him to miss most of the year. And even when he came back, he really wasn't performing all that well. They sent him back down to AAA. You were talking last night, right, about the fact that maybe some winter ball might do him good.
For sure. As young as he is, playing only 35 games this year, he needs to go and play a little bit more baseball. Go to Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican, even Mexico. You can get some good baseball in all 4 of those places.
One hopper hit to Santiago.
I was talking last night how nowadays management will ask a player, like Gordon, for instance, if he wants to go to winter ball or not. And if he says no, there's really nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
But it would be good for him to go play some winter ball this year, get some more at-bats.
Now, in your day, they pretty much told you to go play winter ball.
We wanted to go, though.
Yeah.
We wanted to go play winter ball. It was a good way to make some really nice change to put in your pocket in the offseason. It was either that or get you a 9-to-5, because if you were a borderline major league AAA player as I was, you weren't making a whole lot of money to just kick back in the offseason.
See, now, if they played winter ball in Belize, then you could sign me up. That's back up the middle into center, and a base hit for Betancourt. 1-out single.
We talked about Betancourt last night and how he would be a much better offensive player if he hit more line drives and more ground balls. He pulls his hands in nicely on this fastball that's chasing him inside, pulls the hands in, hits it on the label, but at the same time, the bat angle that was created was one that allowed him to get him a soft single up the middle.
Only his second hit in the series. Here's Josh Anderson batting in the 9 slot. Royals have their 3rd hit of the game.
Anderson's one of those guys that will bunt at least once a game, and it really doesn't matter what the situation is. He understands that his best asset is his speed.
Tough guy to double up with that speed. He is 30 for 37 in big league stolen base attempts. You saw how fast he was here with Detroit. Runner goes, and it's lined on one hop to the second baseman Polanco, who makes the wise choice, and they get the out.
Don't know for sure, but that appeared to be a hit and run because Betancourt does not have a lot of speed. At least he doesn't have base stealer speed. So he takes off, takes about 3 or 4 steps, then takes a look in. And that's where you kind of determine whether it's a hit and run or not. And it's a good thing that he was looking in after he took about 3 or 4 steps, because had he not, that ball may have hit him.
Yeah. And it was hit hard, too. Here's Bloomquist, who started the game with a base hit and also came around to score a run. The Callaspo double plated 2 for the Royals back in the 1st. Bloomquist, really a great example of a guy that every team needs. The ability to play multiple positions. He can hit. And this year is finally getting some major at-bats. He'll end up with more than 400 at-bats this year for the first time in his career.
That's where the game in the American League has changed a little bit the last couple of years. A guy like Bloomquist, guys like Rayburn on the Tigers side, they would be much more valuable in the National League. But you're starting to see a lot more managers in platoon situations, lefty-righty matchups, and guys like Bloomquist and Rayburn, as a result of that, career highs in offensive categories.
1 ball, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat, hit slowly right by Jackson, who knocks it down but has no play. Everybody is safe. He is able to get the glove on it as it scooted by him.
I don't think Polanco would have thrown Bloomquist out anyway. Even if Jackson does not slow this ball down, where Polanco was playing and Bloomquist, the speed he has, he would have been safe. The only chance they had at getting the out at first and getting out of the inning was Jackson fielding the ball cleanly.
So it keeps the inning alive. That's the 4th hit for the Royals today. Runners at 1st and 3rd for Mitch Meyer. A big night last night with 3 for 4.
The Tigers have already determined defensively what Avila will do with the baseball if Bloomquist takes off from first. They probably will not throw through. You've got a couple of different options you can throw through and try to get the base runner out who's running from first base. You can fake down there and come up and throw to third, or you can simply just eat the baseball and hold on to it if you're Avila. But it has to be determined before Mitch Meyer steps in the batter's box.
One ball, one strike on Meyer. Mitch Meyer out of Novi, Michigan, Novi High School, where he was an all-state quarterback in high school.
Class of 2000.
Wanted to play football and baseball at Michigan. Decided to go to Toledo instead, where he concentrated on baseball and became quite a prospect in the MAC. Cuts and misses, 1 and 2. He was a catcher in his collegiate days, and in fact, he also led the league in stolen bases one year, which was odd for a catcher. Well, he can run, and he's playing center field mostly these days. One of the options the Royals have next year in their outfield.
And Tigers are anticipating that Bloomquist will take off in this 1-2 count, which is usually a breaking ball count, to a left-handed batter from Jackson, which will allow Bloomquist to get a couple of extra steps and possibly steal the base. But the Tigers aren't that concerned about him.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, and it doesn't matter. He struck him out. Second strikeout for Jackson. They strand a couple. We go to the bottom of the second.
And this week the Tigers are featured when they take on the Minnesota Twins as part of a big weekend series at the Metrodome. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station.
So that's a big series coming up. This is a big game here for the Tigers as they face Zach Greinke in the second inning, and it's Miguel Cabrera leading it off, and Aubrey Huff and Alex Avila.
How in the world do you throw a 66-mile-per-hour fastball for strike one and hit the catcher's glove?
Pretty amazing, isn't it? Different.
66-mile-per-hour lollipop curveball for strike.
That one bounces in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So he's going anywhere from 66 to 96.
Yeah, that's usually 20-mile differentials tough enough.
30.
The 1-2 to Cabrera, swing and a miss. His third strikeout.
He brought his A game today.
It looks like it.
He brought his A game.
We'll bring up Aubrey Huff.
It's gotten to the point with a few guys in the American League, and Granke would fall into this category where you simply don't worry about what the scouting report is on the opposing hitters, whether a guy's a good fastball hitter, good breaking ball hitter, whatever. It really doesn't matter. If he's on and pitching to his strengths, he's dangerous.
A base hit for Huff. Tigers get their first hit of the game.
He didn't want to see that slide piece. He just wanted the first piece of cheese he saw.
The Tigers have 1 on, 1 out, down by 2. We'll bring up Alex Avila. Here's a question for you. We're talking about Cy Young race. Sabathia has 17 wins. Verlander 16. Hernandez 15. Yet Greinke maybe has better secondary numbers than a few of the other guys. The fact that he doesn't have as many wins, how much does that weigh in your, if you had a vote for Cy Young?
Well, no one has pitched better than Greinke this year. So, however they get to the point of determining who they give the Cy Young Award to this year, is going to be a difficult decision. He has been the best pitcher in the American League, but no run support. 8 no decisions this year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And in those 8 no decisions, I mean, he's given up 1 run, no runs, 2 runs. Tremendous. But only 13 wins this year total.
Well, he had his second straight no decision in his last start against Cleveland. When you start talking about Cy Young, I mean, the guys that I mentioned obviously are up on that list, and Verlander certainly is as well. But boy, Greinke, that ERA.
I still think it's going to come down to the last 3-4 starts for all of these guys. And Sabathia quietly has had a really good year. Verlander has been the best power pitcher in baseball. You don't hear a whole lot about Felix Hernandez, but people in baseball know who King Felix is. 4 outstanding pitchers.
Or Scott Feldman, who has 16 wins.
Had a nice year too.
And a top 10 ERA. 2-1 on Alex Avila.
What would you do?
That's why I asked you, because I really don't know. And the one thing you did say, though, which I agree with, nobody has pitched better than Greinke. Therefore, maybe he deserves it right now.
Yeah. There's about 2 or 3 starts ago where I thought Verlander may have been the leader in the clubhouse, but he's kind of stubbed his toe a little bit. The last few starts, giving up some crooked numbers as far as runs are concerned.
The 2-2 pitch is strike 3 called, and Greinke has another strikeout. That's his 4th already.
2 of his strikeouts have come on fastballs. 1 a slider, and then there's a well-located fastball as well. And it looks like he is getting the benefit of the doubt from home plate umpire Paul Emmel.
3 of his 4 strikeouts are looking. Cabrera struck out swinging. Yep. Jim Leland apparently has been given a warning by Paul Emmel.
Well, you can't argue balls and strikes.
Don Kelly, the batter. Strike 1. Apparently Leland didn't like the last call on Avila, thought it might have been a little bit outside, and Emmel warned him. The 0-1. Kelly out in right field today. Had a nice year at AAA this year. Toledo was an all-star, as a matter of fact. Hit .331. A couple of stints with the big club this season.
You were talking about Bloomquist the last time he was up and his versatility. Kelly, also a very versatile player. As a matter of fact, when the Tigers were playing interleague baseball this year and they were going out on a 3-city trip to National League ballpark, they called Kelly up from the minor leagues for that very reason. He can play all over the baseball field, and when you're playing National League rules, you need some of that versatility on your bench. So he spent about 2 weeks in the big leagues, and it was right during interleague play.
And really, he does a very competent job wherever you put him defensively, which is also a very valuable part of his game. The 2-2 from Greinke is low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Start the runner Huff at first base. Butler will back up behind him.
Well, here's where Greinke can do a number of things here. He can go for the swing and miss strikeout to end the inning if he wants to do so. He has that good a control with his slider and his curveball, or he simply can throw the fastball and pitch to contact and allow Kelly to hit it.
Wave and a miss.
He went slide piece.
5, count them, 5 strikeouts through 2 innings for Zack Greinke. Bad boy list of Jim Leyland. The two had a little conversation between the half inning there, and apparently Jim Leyland not liking the strike zone early on in this game.
Well, Greinke needs no help as far as the strike zone is concerned, and Jim feels like the strike zone has been a little too generous. 3 of the 5 strikeouts that Greinke has gotten today have been looking, and that's the pitch that was in question.
So Greinke with the 5 strikeouts has been in command so far. Jackson back to the hill facing Billy Butler. Butler, Jacobs, Callaspo, and the Royals third. They lead 2-0. They've out hit the Tigers 4-1 so far.
Looks like Paul Emmel has a very generous strike zone today. That ball right there appeared to be up, but he called it a strike.
One and one. Butler hit a soft ground ball back in the first inning, slowly toward the shortstop Santiago, and it turned out to be maybe the biggest play in the inning. Santiago thought he could get the force at second. Bloomquist beat it out. Everybody was safe, and they went on to get 2 runs. Edwin missing inside one more time. 3-1.
It's a dangerous count here. And it's the count that Edwin found himself in 5 days ago against the Toronto Blue Jays, and he tried to throw fastballs by some of those guys, and they played long ball. What will he do here to Butler? 3-1.
Fastball, strike called, inside corner. 3-2. Well, Edwin has allowed 17 home runs in his last 13 games. 3-2 pitch. Into shallow center field. It'll drop. And Billy Butler has his first hit in the series.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. It's a good fastball that crowded Butler, but Billy's so strong, able to muscle that ball off the label of the bat into shallow center field. You don't have to worry about Butler running, which means Cabrera could possibly play right behind Butler, but they're electing to hold him on with the pull hitting Jacobs up.
So what are you saying? Butler would not win a race with Josh Anderson?
Oh no, not even close. And you can see where Polanco is playing here. He is over in the hole. You see Santiago, he's directly behind the bag, and that basically tells everyone that Jacobs hits a lot of balls on the ground in their direction. We saw Jacobs last week at Kauffman Stadium, and he was swinging the bat better than I'd seen him swing the bat all year. And he was driving some balls the opposite way and also hitting some balls up the middle. But he does not go to left field all that often.
One ball, one strike to Mike Jacobs, who struck out in the first inning. Skies this one in the air. Foul ground. Inge may have room. He does. Right up against the railing. First out of the inning. I thought that ball would get back to the seats, but it hung up there. Inge got to his spot nicely and had just enough room.
Exmo. It's tight.
Here's Callaspo. His bat has been tight against Tigers pitching. A 2-run double in the first inning. Callaspo now has hit safely in 15 of his last 16 ball games.
He can hit for sure, but he's committed 16 errors this year from that second base position, which leads the majors for second baseman. The flip side of that, Polanco, and for the Tigers, who should win his second Gold Glove award at that position this year, has only committed 2 errors.
Question is with his bat. Now, he certainly has to be in the lineup somewhere.
Oh, you hit, they'll find a place for you to play.
Now 3-0.
They say the Callaspo catches what he gets to, but he doesn't have real good range at the second base position. But he can most definitely hit.
And he takes a 4-pitch walk. Put 2 aboard. That's the first walk for Jackson. Well, this game is available today in crystal clear high definition. It's actually stunning high definition. Brought to you on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Great day here. Temperature still climbing, getting up towards 70 degrees. Clear skies as well.
It's perfect day.
I would venture to say so. Of course, it'll be about 70 degrees at the Metrodome the next 3 days as well. Only no sunshine. Here's Olivo. Fouled it off, 0-1. Well, big game today for the Tigers because they lead by 4.5. And Chicago's 6.5 back, and we're on our way to the Metrodome after this ball game here today. Chicago playing in Seattle tonight, and Minnesota is off. So it's either going to be a 5-game lead or a 4-game lead. I prefer 5.
That would be nice. And more than likely the division will be decided this weekend. If the Tigers go in there and win a couple of games, you could pretty much put many to bed.
Yeah, it really would be difficult for them. The Tigers go in there and win a couple. They're starting to run out of games and run out of time. That's drilled in the air to center. Granderson going back, still going back, not going to get it, over the wall and gone. It was laying on top of the wall and over for a 3-run shot for Miguel Olivo. 5-0 KC.
This ball was absolutely rushed by Olivo. Look at the concentration. Look at the weight transfer, the power, the bat speed. That's 420 straightaway center field. And we don't see Granderson run out of room very often in center field here at Comerica Park, but he ran out of room there.
Finally rolled over.
Edwin's struggles continue with that home run ball.
Well, for Jackson now, he has given up 18 home runs in his last 14 games. That one was the big one because now it's 5-0. Officially 422 feet to dead center field off the bat of Miguel Olivo. It's also their 6th hit, and that has hushed the crowd here this afternoon. Gordon is 0 for 1. One and 2 on Alex Gordon. Two-run double by Callaspo in the first. 3-run homer by Olivo here in the third. Swing and a miss. Gordon is out of there. 3 strikeouts for Jackson. Going to leave it up to Betancourt. Well, Edwin gave up 5 runs in his last start, 3 the start before that, and then a pair of 4-run games. Today, a 5 spot.
He's been yielding quite a few crooked numbers lately.
And this Royals team, man, they are giving the Tigers fits. We mentioned the Tigers at one point led this series by a wide margin. 8-2, as a matter of fact, in the season series. But Kansas City can finish the season series at 500 against Detroit with a victory here today. Here's the 1-1. Betancourt slaps it toward right field, slicing, and it's a foul ball. I think the Royals finished pretty well last year too, didn't they, in September?
They did play well in the month of September. They got off to a decent start this year as well, but they just can't somehow put it together in months of May and June and July. Last few years, Trey Hillman, 2nd year as their manager after spending 5 years managing in Japan, where he won a championship.
Inside.
Trey Hillman spent a number of years managing in the minor leagues for the New York Yankees before going to Japan for those 5 years. Had a great interview, and Dayton Moore, the general manager of the Kansas City Royals, decided to hire him.
Well, they were 18-8 last September, and then, as you mentioned, got off to a nice start this year. But the Tigers beat them on May 27th, and that was the last time that the Royals were at 500. They have been below 500 since that time. Straight back 2-2. The count stays on. Unieski, Betancourt.
Well, Royals a small market ball club. They'll continue to have to draft well. They can't miss with their first few picks of the draft, and because they're always picking early, because they always finish close to last in baseball and record. They're not going to spend a lot of money on free agents. They got to develop their talent.
That's toward right field, hit well. Kelly on the run at the warning track. Betancourt is outside, retired. Big 3-run homer by Olivo. It's 5-0 KC. Tigers need to start delivering here against Greinke, who has limited them to just 1 hit so far. Greinke has 5 strikeouts, and he faces Brandon Inge, Ramon Santiago, and Curtis Granderson. 5-0 Royals have the lead. Jackson giving up the home run. Strike called, running the count to 1-1 on Brandon. 5 hits on his homestand as it winds down today. Here's Greinke's 1-1 pitch. Driven down the left field line. Base hit. And starts it off with a single here in the 3rd. Second Tigers hit of the day. We'll bring up Santiago. Zach Greinke is 10-5 lifetime against the Tigers. That is his most wins against any opponent. 10 victories against Detroit. He's got a head start in this one. Strike 1 on Santiago. There are the numbers in 18 starts. Good ERA as well. Runner going. A swing and a miss. Throw down to second. The tag is waiting for Brandon Inge, and he is out.
And we told you Greinke does a whole lot of things really well. This appeared to be a hit and run with the swing that Santiago took. Jim trying to get something going. And you can't allow Greinke to get way too comfortable on the mound, and he was out by about 10 feet. But judging by the swing of Santiago, that was a hit and run. I guess you have to try to make something happen.
Well, and we have seen Jim do that on many occasions this year when the offense has gotten stagnant, or he is facing a guy like a Hernandez or a Zach Greinke or some of the top pitchers in the league. You do have to make it as uncomfortable as you can for them.
Because if you just sit back and do nothing all afternoon against Greinke, he's going to continue to put up zeros on the board.
Santiago looks it into the glove for ball 2. Ramon has been a pretty good hitter this year at home. 309 at Comerica Park, 257 overall. 3-2.
Tigers hitters took some batting practice on the field today. It was optional, which means you have the choice of coming out and hitting if you choose to do so. The pitchers don't leave the clubhouse. They don't have to come out and shag. The managers and coaches do all the shagging, and the hitters just hit and then go back into the clubhouse after they're done. The Royals did not take batting practice on the field today.
It's a 1-out walk to Santiago. A couple of the Tigers pitchers were walking in. They read the board and said, well, is shagging optional too? So I guess they didn't have to today, huh?
Yeah.
Only 2 hits so far for the Tigers. Granderson steps in. Shattered his bat. Look out. Roll it to second for 1 there. The relay out of time. Look at the barrel of that bat whistling down the first base line.
Curtis must hit this ball off the end of the bat, and I think he did. Our Lincoln Mercury Exmo. About Betancourt coming across that bag trying to turn 2 with Granderson running. And he is aggressive in that shortstop position. Yeah.
Here's Polanco. You expect that most guys would not have very good numbers against Zach Greinke, and by and large that is true. However, Polanco came in as a .342 career hitter.
Good contact hitter. Short, quick, compact swing. And those are the guys that will have success against guys like Greinke, guys like Verlander, some of your better pitchers in all of baseball. They dominate power hitters, but guys like Polanco seem to find ways to get base hits.
Here are the updated numbers against Greinke. Shot to right field, sinking. That's a base hit. Polanco is aboard with another hit against Greinke.
He's a nice player. Jim loves the fact that he can ride him into that number 2 spot every day and not worry about Polanco not performing. He will do something every single day that doesn't show up in the box score that helps you win games. And he's been sizzling lately, driving in big runs. He drove in a big run yesterday.
So let's add that hit to the total now, and it's 350 against Greinke. Updated on the spot. It's Carlos Guillen. Slowly towards second base. Should get him out of the inning, and it will. Tigers get a couple of hits. They get a walk. They strand 2, and we go to the 4th inning. Our Aflac trivia question this afternoon says 1954, which Tiger hit 100 career home runs in the fewest amount of games? That is your question today. Of course, Granderson's next homer will be his 100th. And since 54, who has done it in the fewest amount of games for Detroit? Answer coming up when we go to the bottom of the 4th. In the meantime, it'll be Josh Anderson leading it off against Edwin Jackson. 5-0 Kansas City in this one. They got a couple in the first and then 3 more in the third. Anderson 0 for 1 with a ground out. Wave and a miss. 1-1. It's fouled back out of play. One of the great things about our job is the fact that you meet a lot of different people every single season. Sometimes players come and go. Josh Anderson came to the Tigers this year, and one of the things we learned quickly about him is he is a really good guy. Very well liked. And Anderson served some time here in Detroit before going to Kansas City. He's been with several different organizations, the Astros, the Braves, and the Tigers. Fouled away 2-2, but really a good guy. Pleasure to be around.
He's got the element of speed. He is a plus runner. Tremendous speed running from that side of the batter's box.
Swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. 4 strikeouts now for Jackson, 1 in each inning. Well, one of the things we did last night, if you tuned in, was we had the My Favorite Things auction. The baskets hand-picked by the Tigers' wives, and here are last night's winners.
Susan J. of Trenton. She got her a couple of packages.
She cleaned up.
Yes, she did.
Victor M. of Dearborn, the winning bid on number 3, a total of better than $12,000, almost $13,000 raised for the Detroit Tigers Foundation last night.
Special night last night. Not only the auction and the money that was raised, but Ernie Harwell stopped by and paid us a visit. And what a tremendous time that was.
Had an opportunity to see it back on the local news last night. Read all the articles in the local papers and all of the accounts of what happened here last night. It really was a special evening.
He is a special man.
1-2 on Willie Bloomquist. 2-2 the count. Bloomquist 2 more hits in this ball game. Couple of singles. He has had 6 hits and 8 at bats versus Tigers pitching in the series. The 2-2 is hit on the ground back up the middle. Santiago gets to it quickly. Did he stay on the bag? Yes. Oh, what a play by Cabrera. And here comes Trey Hillman. He did not like that call. How did Cabrera keep his foot on the bag? That's what Hillman wants to know. Scott Perry made the call at first base.
Santiago's got some really good range to his left, but he has to plant his feet rather quickly and throw from underneath because Bloomquist has good speed. Cabrera almost got his right hand stepped on by Bloomquist with that right leg, and he got lucky. And it looked like he may have kept his foot on the bag, but what range by Santiago.
Well, you're right. He really almost got that hand stepped on. Really close. Bloomquist came whizzing by. 2 gone. Very short argument by Trey Hillman. Mitch Meyer is 0 for 2.
We were talking about Bloomquist earlier in this game and the fact that he's got some talent, but one of the main reasons why he's in the big leagues is he's a hustler. He goes full speed 100% of the time. And managers appreciate that about you. He was responsible for the 2 runs that Kansas City scored back in the first inning by beating a force play to second on a ground ball off the bat of Billy Butler. Just hustling.
Well, one thing is for certain, he'll bring a lot of energy to the games that he plays. 2-2.
But then again, some guys have to play that way.
Swing and a miss. Myers strikes out, and Jackson has 5 of them now. A 1-2-3 4th inning. Tigers try and get the bat going in the bottom of the 4th. Nice day for baseball here in Detroit. 5-0 Kansas City, though, as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Final game on this homestand and in this series. And a ball outside to Miguel Cabrera to lead things off. Greinke back out there to face Cabrera, Huff, and Avila. 3 Tigers hits so far in this one. Foul away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Greinke has 1 walk in this game, 5 strikeouts so far. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Way inside, makes him move his feet.
Tigers have a monumental task at trying to come back this afternoon against Greinke. He's only given up more than 5 runs once this year, and that was 6.
Ooh, look out, right back off of Greinke. He'll locate it and throw him out. Oh, that's got to make your heart skip a beat for Trey Hillman. And if you're Zach Greinke. A rocket right back to the mound.
Got him right on the elbow, looked like. That ball came in at about 95 miles an hour, and it left Cabrera's bat at 100 miles an hour.
Greinke initially, as soon as he was hit by that ball, was searching for it. I think you're right. It looked like the elbow. That's a nasty sound. I'm sure we'll get the requisite warm-up pitches here for Greinke to see if he can continue.
Well, you know this as a fact. If they're going to err on any side, it's going to be on the side of caution with Zach Greinke.
Trey Hillman says, what do you think? Doesn't look real convincing right now, does he?
No, it's bothering him a little bit. Usually guys take 1 or 2 warm-up tosses and they're good to go, but there are some issues there with Zach.
He's taking quite a few. He's still throwing, so
he's throwing all his pitches. He's throwing sliders, he's throwing curveballs, he's throwing a couple of changeups.
He's all right. It took a while, but Trey Hillman will keep his star in the game. And we'll see what kind of, if any, effect this will have on Greinke the rest of this afternoon. Aubrey Huff will bat with 1 out. Huff singled in the second, 1 for 1. Breaking ball is in there, 0-1.
Yeah, that's one of the pitches that separates Greinke from most right-handed starters that have overpowering fastballs. Is that he can throw that breaking ball for a strike when he wants to. Very seldom is he working from a count to where he's behind in the count. He is usually ahead with 1 strike.
Hillman appears to be putting the bullpen on high alert just in case. 2-1 on Huff. Chopped foul. 2-2 on Aubrey.
The changeup is a pitch that Greinke worked on tirelessly in spring training. Didn't have a very good spring, but he was working on trying to perfect that changeup. Did not feel comfortable in the spring with that pitch. And it's also been a pitch that he hasn't really felt all that comfortable with this season. But when you've got all the other pitches to go along with it, it really doesn't matter.
Well, he's just picked up another strikeout, his 6th. Let's pick up the duck now. How about that? Here's the Aflac trivia question. And since 1954, which Tiger hit 100 career home runs in the fewest games? Anderson is about to get there, but the fewest, 478 games, Tony Clark.
TC.
There's a strike called on Alex Avila, who was called out on strikes and was back in the second. You wonder how much that shot to the elbow will bother Greinke between innings. You know, here he's still able to go out, keep it loose, throw his pitches, continue to compete. But as he sits down, that'll start to swell up or stiffen up.
It's a great point. This may be one of those games where Greinke pitches 5, maybe 6 innings, and then Trey Hillman gets him out of there just to make sure that he's okay.
3-1 on Avila.
Well, Avila should get a pretty good fastball to hit here. And Greinke's up by 5. Probably throw it right down the middle.
Walked him. Second base on balls for Greinke.
Hey fans, reserve your luxury suite now for potential postseason games at Comerica Park. Supply is extremely limited, so don't miss your chance to see the playoffs in style. Reserve yours today by calling the Tigers Luxury Suites Department at 313-471-2222.
Well, here is Don Kelly with 2 outs. And Greinke misses again. Looks like they do have some action going in the Kansas City bullpen. Kelly struck out in the second, 0 for 1.
This much we do know. Greinke's going to stay out there as long as he can. Wins have been very hard for him to come by as the left-hander Bruce Chin starts to heat up in the Kansas City bullpen. He wants a win in the worst way. If you weren't with us earlier, we were talking about the fact that that's really the only thing that's standing in between him being a unanimous winner for the Cy Young this year.
And the victories. Just hadn't gotten enough of them. That's rolled to first base. Fair ball. Butler hits the bag for the outside. Retired. Tigers get a 2-out walk and leave 1. We go to the 5th. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, it is 5-0 in favor of the Royals here on a great day for baseball in the Motor City. The Royals in the lead in the final game in the series, basically aside obviously from the offense, Rod, because of the pitching of Zach Greinke, who despite taking that line drive off the elbow has been pretty dominant today.
He's off the chain usually every time he goes out there with a mixture of overpowering fastballs. Quite a few strikeouts today looking, and because He's got that outstanding command with the fastball away from the arm side, on the arm side. He'll flip that slow breaking ball up there as well, and a little scare here. Right off his elbow, and he got the out at first base, but we'll see if he continues in this game.
So the Tigers do have an uphill battle. Meanwhile, for Edwin Jackson in this one, some early runs, gave up a 3-run homer, and Jackson, at least toward the stretch run here, giving up a few runs.
It looks like he's having a tough time of getting that fastball down in the strike zone. He's also pitching in too many friendly hitters count, and what I mean by that, he's given up a few home runs in the last couple of starts, and all those home runs were given up where the batter is in a fastball count. Jackson just not making that adjustment to the off-speed pitches in some of those fastball counts, which he must do at this level.
Billy Butler leads it off here in the 5th inning. 5-0 KC. Butler and then Jacobs and Callaspo for Kansas City. They've had 6 hits in this game, the Royals. That'll go foul, back out of play, 1-2. Well, Butler, although he has not had a big series, has been on base twice today and scored twice. Player of the week last year, or last week I should say, in the American League at .419 for Butler.
It's the second time he's won that award this year.
Driven to center. Granderson over. First out of the 5th. By the way, go inside Big Ten Conference football 4 nights a week with 4 unique shows on the Big Ten Football 4-pack. Experts bring you game plan breakdowns, interviews, and analysis you won't find anywhere else. Catch the Big Ten Football 4-pack every Tuesday through Friday at 10 o'clock. Only on the Big Ten Network, the only cure for gridiron deficiency.
Now, who's your alma mater playing this weekend?
We've got the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Ooh, that's a big game.
Oh, it's a big game. It's in Notre Dame, too.
Ooh, it's a big game.
And they're going to be angry because Michigan just beat them this past weekend. So, we'll see what happens. Michigan State hasn't lost to Notre Dame in a long time. At Notre Dame. Ball outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
I guess you and John Keating will be watching that one together then.
Well, yeah, because Keating's a huge Notre Dame guy because his son Patrick goes there. So
yeah.
Who knows? A brawl might erupt. You never know. 2-1
between you and Keats.
Yeah, me and Keats. Mike Jacobs, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Fouled back out of play. You, my friend, will be busy on Saturday calling the Tigers Twins nationally.
Yes, usually we get that day off, but I got a phone call to do the game and gladly accept it.
Make sure you pump up the Tigers, will you?
Always will.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Jacobs strikes out for the 2nd time today. That's 6 total strikeouts for Jackson.
A good 4-seam fastball that's firm right at the belt buckle. And Jacobs pretty good low ball hitter, but has a difficult time of hitting that mid-90s fastball that's located where Jackson located that last one. This guy has no trouble hitting anything.
Apparently not. 2-run double, a walk, 2 RBIs, and a run scored today. Callaspo from his second base position, 64 RBIs. Ball low, 1-1. Slap toward left field. Guillen moving over there, and a 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Jackson. 2nd straight frame he's done that. Tigers baseball today on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. back here at Comerica Park in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Greinke appears to be okay. He's answering the bell and has a 5-0 lead. Brandon Inge will lead it off, and Greinke misses inside 1-0. Inge, Santiago, and Granderson in the Tigers' 5th inning. Brandon had a single his first time up. Greinke has allowed 3 Tigers hits, no runs, checked his swing up high. Zach was as you might expect, an outstanding high school player, was a National Player of the Year as a senior in high school. He played shortstop and first along with pitching in high school. This guy hit 31 home runs in his 4 seasons as a high school player. Great athlete. 2-2. And strike 3 called. Man, another called looking. That's 7 strikeouts total for Greinke.
Either he has that good a command today, or the Tigers are looking for something they can't hit with 2 strikes. Well, he can thread the needle with that fastball. He's just playing a really nice game of pitch and catch. He's not even sweating out there today.
Here's Santiago. Base on balls for Ramon back in the 3rd. Really the Tigers' best scoring chance in that 3rd inning. Had a couple of runners aboard, could not break through against Greinke.
Real good pitchers like Greinke usually give you one opportunity during the course of the game to score a few runs, and if you let them wiggle out of that jam, you're usually not going to get another chance to do so.
Greinke signed a 4-year deal which will keep him in Kansas City through 2012. Signed that deal in January.
What a great deal that was for Dayton Moore. He probably saved the organization about $50 million.
Oh, at least you got to believe that. And as he continues to rebuild his organization, this is going to be one of the centerpieces.
I don't think he envisioned Greinke going out and doing what he has done this year, but simply by him signing him before the season and not after the year, he saved Kansas City a lot of money.
The 2-2 is strike 3 called. Another called 3rd strike. 5 of them and 8 total strikeouts.
Another fastball as well in X mode. He's just really good. Gets over the top, allows that arm to catch up, and gets that good downward motion. He throws downhill very well. And at 95 miles an hour, no chance on most days.
Granderson 0 for 2. So Greinke now with 8 strikeouts today has 224 for the year. Dennis Leonard holds the Royals record for strikeouts in a year at 244. High fly ball into right field. Bloomquist is waiting. Greinke has himself a 1-2-3 inning. We have played 5 here at Comerica. Olivo, Gordon, Betancourt coming up.
Hey fans, the race for the pennant is on. Place a deposit on 2010 season tickets and receive the opportunity to purchase tickets for all 2009 playoff games. For more information, call 313-471-BALL, or you can simply visit Tigers.com.
Well, we have a new pitcher on now for the Tigers. Armando Galarraga comes on in the Wallside Windows pitching change.
27th game now that Armando has been in, and the majority of his games I should say this year have been starts. He comes in 6 up, 10 down. Very high earned run average this year for Armando after winning 13 games last year as a rookie.
Bothered by a tender elbow recently, and we'll see what Galarraga can do here this afternoon. And Armando in the 6th inning facing Miguel Olivo to lead it off. Jackson goes the first 5 and surrenders 6 hits, 5 runs. Edwin threw 96 pitches before departing. Olivo got him for a 3-run homer back in the 3rd. That extended the lead from 2-0 to 5-0.
And there wasn't anything cheap about that home run that Olivo hit.
1 ball, 1 strike.
21 home runs.
Pretty impressive. Although against Galarraga, look at these numbers. 0 for 11.
Can't hit that slider.
6 strikeouts.
And he knows he's going to get that slider too. There she is.
1-2.
Would you throw him another one?
Sure. Keep him coming.
You're picking on him.
Keep him coming.
Mom be home soon. Can't hit the slider. You don't call Dad. Dad tell you to stay there and get it out.
You'd have no shot.
Nothing but work here, son. Better figure it out.
Fastball caught him looking.
Firm fastball too. That's why you don't guess with 2 strikes. Olivo up there trying to hit something that he can't hit, which is the slider. And he takes the fastball, although well located fastball on the black outside at the knees.
Here's Alex Gordon. It's a total of 7 strikeouts for Tigers pitching today. Over the head of the second baseman Polanco. That's into right field for a 1-out single. Seventh hit for the Royals.
It's going to be very important for Galarraga here down the stretch to pitch well. He is not in the starting rotation anymore. And if he's going to make the postseason roster, if the Tigers are fortunate enough to get in, they don't know what role they'll use him in. They've got a long man already in Zach Minor.
Of course, Galarraga pitched one of his best games of the year last year in Kansas City, carrying a perfect game into the 7th. There's a strike.
That pretty much has been Galarraga's issue this year. And when he has struggled, he has just not gotten ahead of a lot of hitters. And therefore, he has not been able to get to his best pitch, which is the slider.
Betancourt is 1 for 2. Three-game series begins tomorrow in Minnesota. Porcello and Dunsing square off in the start of that big series. Again, the Twins off today. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center field. It'll find its way to the center field grass and all the way to third. Goes Gordon. So the Royals again with something going.
This much we do know: on Saturday, the Tigers have Verlander going, but Carl Pavano, he has pitched like Verlander against Detroit this year. That's how good he has been against Tigers batters.
That's going to be a good matchup. And we are thinking that maybe Robertson will go against Baker on Sunday.
He threw a bullpen today and threw a very good bullpen.
Here's Josh Anderson. 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Royals now have 8 hits in this one. Trey Hillman has had Anderson playing the other outfield positions, but they wanted to see how he would react to center field, to see if he'd get comfortable there at Kauffman Stadium, to see if he may be part of their plans next year. And that's why September, even though a team may be out of the race, is important to certain organizations. Even a team like Kansas City that comes in with 58 wins, they have to start looking toward next year and evaluating the pieces they currently have on their big league roster.
Center field is Anderson's natural position.
With his speed, you would think he could run a lot down in center field. I think that he probably, of the positions he played here, I'd say center was probably his best.
And he definitely can cover some ground.
The 1-0.
Armando paying way too much attention to Betancourt.
Betancourt has only stolen 3. He's been caught 3 times too.
And I think that's what the rookie may be telling him. Don't worry about Betancourt. You've got to concentrate on Anderson and making a good quality pitch here.
Driven deep to right field. That ball is hooking, and that ball is gone. Josh Anderson with a line drive home run out of the number 9 spot of the lineup, and the Royals add 3 more.
That is Anderson's first home run of the year. And we talked about the fact that Galarraga fell behind him 2 balls and no strikes because he was concerned too much with what Betancourt was doing on first base. Betancourt doesn't run, and he threw him a fastball right down the middle, of swing back fastball, and he swung right back into the barrel of the bat of Anderson's.
As you mentioned, first home run of the year, just his 4th career home run, and it's now an 8-0 ball game. The Royals bringing out the whooping stick today in the series finale.
That's the 4th 3-run home run they've hit in this series, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 in the first game, right?
Well, 3 then.
Oh no, 3 in the first game.
3, and that's what I thought. Yeah,
and 2 more here today. 8-0. Anderson gets RBIs 21, 2, and 3 with 1 swing of the bat. Two 2-0 on Bloomquist. Three-run shots today for Olivo and Anderson. In that first game, they got it from Callaspo, De Jesus, and Olivo. Two and 2. So Jackson gives way here in the 6th inning, and Galarraga gives up 2 singles and a 3-run homer to 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. Bloomquist today is 2 out of 3, a couple of singles and a run scored. Not exactly how the Tigers planned this homestand, I would say. They lost a couple of games to the Toronto Blue Jays. Ooh, that hit it right on the wrist, it appeared, and Bloomquist will head to first base. Galarraga came too far inside. Tigers lost the first 2 to Toronto, then won a couple games, and if they can't come back here today, they will lose 2 out of 3 to Kansas City. We'll see where this one got Bloomquist. Yep, wrist. Here's Mitch Meyer. Still only 1 out. He struck out Olivo to start the inning, but all downhill since. 1-0 on Meyer, who fanned in the second, fanned in the fourth. He's 0 for 3.
He has fallen behind in every single hitter in this inning, with the exception of Olivo.
Alfredo Figueroa now warming up. Fouled back out of play. 2-1. Well, you're constantly talking about how if you continue to get behind hitters, sooner or later it will catch up to you. And we saw it with the number 9 guy here in Anderson. We took a fastball deep into the seats for 3 more for KC. He fell behind Meyer here. Now the 2-1 way inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Lurking on deck, Billy Butler. Walked him.
Jim's seen enough of this.
Yeah, he's not happy. He is signaled to the bullpen. Galarraga will not survive the 6th after striking out the first man he faced. Single homer, hit, batter, walk. So we will step aside as the Tigers go back to the bullpen. Galarraga is out. Figueroa is in.
We talked about the fact that this afternoon Jackson had very little margin for error going up against Zach Greinke, and they didn't get off to a good start with Billy Butler in the batter's box and Bloomquist running from first base. He wasn't stealing, but he was able to beat the throw to second base by Santiago to Polanco. And that prolonged the inning, and that got Callaspo up to the batter's box, and he drove in 2 in the very first inning, but they didn't stop there. Their 4th 3-run home run of this series. Olivo's gotten a couple of those, and he was able to touch Jackson up in the 3rd inning for a ball to straightaway center field. So not Jackson's afternoon here today against the Kansas City Royals.
One of those days, and Billy Butler stands in now with 2 men on against Alfredo Figueroa.
Figueroa had a couple of starts in the big leagues in the summer. One good one and then one not so good. And then was sent down to the minor leagues and then was placed on the disabled list. Saw a little bit of action in Double-A on a rehab assignment before getting placed back on the active roster after last night's game.
Off the disabled list. A right wrist sprain. And back in action now in the big leagues. The 1-1. Fly ball center field. Granderson sizing it up. And the runners will hold.
And Figueroa made his major league debut in a start here at Comerica Park. And he struck out 7 against the Milwaukee Brewers. And those 7 strikeouts, the most since Dave Borkowski struck out 8 in his major league debut way back in 1999.
It's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Dave Borkowski.
Yeah. But then he had another start in Minnesota after that. Didn't fare so well, and they sent him to the minors after that. But who plays well in that Metrodome?
Not too many. Here's Mike Jacobs, the only Royal that has not reached base today. 8th man to bat in this inning. Jacobs, couple of strikeouts and a pop-up. All 3 of those at bats against the starter Edwin Jackson. Figueroa missing outside, 2-0. Two and 1 on Jacobs. Mike Jacobs out of the Chula Vista area in Southern California, San Diego, which is Joel Zamaya country.
Joel might be watching the ball game today. If you are, what's up, Joel?
Here's the 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Joel had that season-ending shoulder surgery about a month ago or so.
Had a chance to see him in Anaheim on one of the recent road trips.
Yep, saw him too.
3-1. There is ball 4. And so now Jacobs reaches. Every Royal has reached.
Cannot defend all these base on balls.
2 walks in this inning plus a hit batter. 8-0 KC. 3-run homer by Josh Anderson here in the 6th inning has busted this one open. Now Callaspo with the bases loaded. They hit around in this inning. Callaspo is the 9th man to bat. And a bouncing ball foul outside of the bag at first. Tigers today have been out hit 9-3. Figueroa's 0-1. Make it 0-2 on Callaspo. 2-run double in the first. Got the Royals off and running today. It's his 3rd double in this series. Inside, spins him out of there. Spins him away again. Figueroa not afraid to pitch inside and almost hit him that time. Alfredo, 25 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Samana in the Dominican Republic. Fouled away.
He really slows his arm motion down when he throws that changeup.
You can tell, can't you?
You can. When he throws the fastball, he's nice, he's free, he's easy. But when he throws that changeup, as a hitter, you can visibly see him slowing the arm speed down, which makes it a very hittable pitch.
Skies this one in the air. Shallow right center field. Granderson coming in. And that is that. But another big inning for the Royals. They add 3 more runs to break it open. Polanco, Guillen, Cabrera coming up.
Welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning, and now it's time for Coors Light Freeze Cam, and it's all Zach Greinke who leaves this ball game after pitching 5 innings. His location impeccable, as it always is. Whether it be the fastball or the slider, he just gets it done. That one ball that was hit right back at him was wicked, but he pitched a couple of innings after that and then got busy once again. What a pitcher. What a pitcher.
77 pitches for Greinke. He will give way here to the bullpen. He goes 5 innings after being struck on the elbow, and he will give way to Bruce Chen.
17th game now that Chen has been in. He comes in with 1 win, and he's lost 6. And he'll give up some hits. He'll give up some runs if the Tigers are patient.
Placido Polanco leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Greinke struck out 8, walked 2, and scattered 3 hits. Polanco 1 for 2, singled in his last at bat. Chen missing high to run it to 2-0. Chen signed a minor league contract March 11th, began the year in Omaha, pitching pretty well down there. That's fouled away, 2-1.
Chen, one of those guys that really doesn't give you a whole lot to hit. You have to be patient against him. And he'll work off the plate, inside and outside. Very seldom will he throw anything right down the middle of the plate. Also throws lots of breaking pitches in fastball counts.
Bruce Chen out of Panama City, Panama. And Polanco reaches. Leadoff walk here in the 7th, or the 6th. 93 pitches on the 8th and a no decision against the Tigers. Gave up 5 runs in that game.
That kind of validates my point at the fact that he pitches away from contact on most nights. 4 2/3, 93 pitches.
Carlos Guillen is batting right-handed for the first time this year.
He took batting practice today, right-handed, and told me that he was going to try it. Carlos is tired of sitting against all these left-handed pitchers. He looked okay taking BP today, too. It was off a right-handed pitcher, but he was swinging the bat right-handed.
Tried to hold up there, couldn't do it. And it's 0-2 on Guillen. Carlos' first 2 at-bats left-handed against Greinke. He was 0 for 2.
The shoulder issues that had landed Carlos on the disabled list for a good couple of months of this season has allowed him to do everything but swing the bat right-handed. He's been able to throw. Of course, he's hit left-handed. He's played the outfield. But he has not been able to swing the bat from this side of the plate.
More activity in their bullpen. Yasuhiko Yabuta is warming up. One and 2 on Carlos. One and 2. Carlos Guillen followed by Miguel Cabrera. Tigers have a leadoff walk here in the 6th. And he popped him up. First base side for Billy Butler. And you'd say that's foul territory for the first out. A foul pop up. Now Cabrera. For 2 today for Miguel, a strikeout and a bounce out. He was back up to 3rd in the American League in hitting coming into play today. And he drives one in the air deep left center. Looks like he got hold of this one, and it is gone. A home run. Tigers are on the board. It's 8-2. Number 30 for Cabrera. Kaboom indeed.
Yeah, Bruce Chen tried to sneak that first pitch changeup by Cabrera. And I don't know if Cabrera was sitting on it, but he hit it like he was sitting on it. That ball absolutely clobbered, and Cabrera had to supply all of that power.
RBIs 90 and 91 as Cabrera goes deep to get the Tigers finally on the board here with a 2-run 6th. 5th season with 30 or more. That one cleared the bullpens as well. The 0-1 pitch to Aubrey Huth. Two and 2. Cabrera becomes the first Tiger since Tony Clark to hit 30 or more in back-to-back seasons. Clark did it in 97, 98. Three and 2. Aubrey, a single and a strikeout, was 1 for 2 against Greinke before he departed. Here is Chen's 3-2 pitch. Through to center field, hit well. Anderson, though, will get back there. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit today.
Hey fans, I've got a real good idea for you. You may as well visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. You can browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts. You can get it all there, straight from the team shop.
Here's Alex Avila. Strike one on Avila. Alex had a base on balls in his last at bat. Now the 1-1. Leadoff walk here to Polanco. 1 out later. Cabrera goes deep. A 2-run shot to make it 8-2. Tigers still today, though, have been out hit 9-4 in this game. That's pulled to first. Fair ball, they call it. Billy Butler races to the bag to retire the side. Tigers get on the board with a home run from Cabrera. Olivo, Gordon, Betancourt coming up. When the Tigers start an important 3-game road series in Minnesota. Coverage begins at 7:30 with Tigers Live. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow night on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. And there's your pitching matchup. Brian Dunsing facing Rick Porcello in game 1. Porcello will be shooting for his 14th win of the year.
He's been impressive, and it appears he's gotten a lot stronger as the year has gone on. His fastball anywhere from 92 to 95 miles an hour for the youngster.
Well, Minnesota off today, 4.5 behind the Tigers. If the Tigers fail to come back in this one, that series will start a 3-game set with a 4-game spread. And Chicago still lurking.
A 20-year-old pitching in the major leagues for the very first time, had not pitched above A ball before this year. And he's looking like a seasoned veteran, Rick Porcello.
Santiago shoots down Olivo, who grounds out 6-3, 1 gone. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, and even look back at Eddie Bonine yesterday, making a critical start for the Tigers in a big spot. Tigers needed a win yesterday, and he did very well.
5 innings kept him in the game, which allowed them to take over the game later on.
There's Eddie Bonine.
JB like got a full beard going. His winter beard going.
It's too early for that.
No, he'll shave it off after he pitches, or maybe even before he pitches. A lot of starting pitchers, they pitch one day and then they just they don't shave until after their next start. I guess it makes them look a little meaner, I guess.
Maybe some guys.
Yeah, Verlander don't need much to make him look mean anyway.
2-0 on Alex Gordon. Figueroa back out there. Came on in the 6th inning. Galarraga could not get through the 6th. 3-0.
Up by 6 in the 7th inning. I don't think Gordon will be swinging 3-0. What Billy Butler did it the other day. I believe it was Billy Butler. in a game where they had a really big lead and about 5-run spread. I think it was late in the game, and he swung 3-0. Is that Butler? You remember?
It was Butler, and I think the score was 7-1 at the point, wasn't it?
Yeah, 7th inning, I believe it was. Maybe later.
Well, it was something. It was a huge lead. 7 or 8 run lead.
Yeah.
Betancourt the batter now with 1 man out, 1 man out. Strike call. Unigeski, a couple of singles and a fly ball. 8-2 Royals. They raced out to the 8-0 lead before Cabrera hit a 2-run shot in the 6th. Wave and a miss. Tigers have only 1 more homestand in the regular season following this 9-game road trip. Coming down the wire. Betancourt strikes out. 2 gone. By the way, that strikeout was the 1,000th of the season by Tigers pitching. It's the 10th time that has happened in franchise history.
Pretty good pitch there. It's a changeup, and he did not slow his arm motion down on that pitch.
Tigers have been around over 100 years. That is only the 10th time that has happened in their history. Of course, Verlander has a boatload of those. 0-1 on Josh Anderson.
1/5 of them.
Science fiction.
Anderson a 3-run homer in the 6th.
I was here last night, not Tuesday. Why? Did he get loose or something?
Josh's first home run of the season, just his 4th career home run. Waiting on a 1-1 from Figueroa.
Oh, he was wearing clothes.
Fouled away, 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch.
Give him that. He can't stop.
And Figueroa not very big in stature, but he's blessed with a very good right arm. Fastball anywhere from 94 to 96. And as most pitchers, young pitchers that come from Dominican Republic, they idolize Pete. That would be Pedro Martinez.
See if this one gets down. No, Granderson runs it down. Takes a hit away from Anderson to retire the side. Stretch time coming up. Kelly in Santiago for the Tigers.
Hey, fans, celebrate the 25th anniversary of the 1984 championship season on Monday, September 28th, when the Tigers take on the Twins at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans receive an 84 replica road jersey. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
25th anniversary already.
Yeah. Seems like just yesterday, Rusty Coombs was on that 84 championship team. Rusty was one of my first teammates in professional baseball in 1977. We were both drafted by the Chicago White Sox and played rookie ball together. He was a center fielder. I played right field.
So you guys known each other a long time.
A long, long time.
I thought the first time you crossed paths was in '84.
No, Rusty was out of college, San Luis Obispo, where he played 4 years there. And I was 17 years old leaving high school.
So both of you were Cali boys, but he had a little bit more experience.
Yeah, and he was a good teacher too. Good outfielder. He's been a tremendous coach in the major leagues for a long, long time. Good base running, good outfield coach.
Brandon Inge, the batter, with one out here in the 7th. Tigers down 8-2 in the series finale.
I was telling the story last time. Rusty Coombs was in town. One of his first jobs in the big leagues was in Seattle as their outfield and base running guy. And Ken Griffey Jr., after he won his first Gold Glove, he bought Rusty Coombs a BMW.
Nice.
Yeah. Look at Rusty, still directing traffic, always working down there. He's got some notes down there as well that he continues to write down some things, and they've got a 6-run lead. Chill out, Rusty.
Look at you getting on Rusty. The end of center field, and it's going to drop in a one-hopper right in front of Anderson. It's a 2-out single.
Rusty was trying to get him to come in, but he just wouldn't come in fast enough. Still writing.
Jotting more notes down.
Rusty's one of the best human beings you'll meet in this game as well.
Well, last night he was enjoying Ernie Harwell's comments, and he brought his camera with him.
Weren't we all?
Taking a photograph of Mr. Harwell, who was on the field in the 3rd, addressing the Tigers fans. Granderson hitless in 3 at-bats. Tigers trail 8-2 as we play here in the 7th. A couple of 3-run frames today for KC. Zach Greinke went the first 5 innings. He was struck by a line drive. They took him out after 5. Fouled away. 2-2 on Granderson.
Well, Greinke will get his 14th win here today if the score stays the way that it is right now. It's going to be hard not giving him that Cy Young this year in the American League.
His ERA is going to drop even more. 5 scoreless today. Yeah, I would agree. You know, I think it almost changes daily, at least in our minds, who the front runner is. But right now, you got to consider him up there, if not leading the pack.
Verlander will have a few more starts before the year's over. A little minor hiccup the last time he went out there when he gave up 5 runs. Verlander just has not been able to stay away from that one inning where the opposing teams have put up crooked numbers against him this year.
Meanwhile, the Kansas City trainer is wearing a path out to the field. It looks like Chen is hurt now.
Well, he's pulled something on his side. He's not going to be able to continue.
He's got to be done. They've had Farnsworth warming up in their bullpen.
They're going to go to Farnsworth. Olivo, the catcher, recognized that Chen did something after this. Watch the catcher here. Catchers always notice certain things. He's going to watch him a little bit. He's going to tug at his hip a little bit, and then Olivo just, he recognizes something's going on right now. He's going to get up and he's going to go out there. So something's not right.
So Chen departs. Got something going on here in his side. Kyle Farnsworth comes trotting in out of the bullpen. The former Tiger now will get his warm-up tosses here. As we mentioned, he was warming up, so it shouldn't take him too long. Well, last night obviously was a special time here at the ballpark, and hopefully all of you watching today had an opportunity to be here last night. Ernie Harwell addressing the crowd. He met with the media before the game, spent some time in Mr. Illich's box, and then after that he addressed the crowd in the third and really had both teams standing at attention. And they put together a fabulous video presentation that they played before Ernie came out, and just a nice little way of thanking Mr. Harwell, who was actually here to thank all of his fans and all the Tigers fans.
It was like a typical day of work for Harwell. He came to the ballpark, he went down to the Tigers clubhouse, and he met with Jim Leland's staff and the players. And then he went and hung out with the umpires for a little bit. And I didn't know he did that, but Dan Dickerson said that that was, you know, part of what Ernie did. He would go down and spend some time with the umpires. And then, of course, he came upstairs, he met with the media, and then went downstairs and had a message for the fans. So it was business as usual for Ernie Harwell last night.
You know, and it was classic Ernie Harwell too. He just walked out in front of the fans, unscripted. He had nothing ready but just the feelings from his heart, and spoke for a couple of minutes, facing what he is facing, and he walked in front of all those people and just did a fabulous job.
I think what we had a chance to see last night is a man that's at peace with himself.
I agree. And what a career he had here in Detroit. Well, here's Curtis Granderson now facing Farnsworth with 2 outs in the 7th, 8-2. Royals on top in this one.
Farnsworth throws hard. 36 strikeouts in 33 2/3 innings pitched this year against just 12 walks. I find it hard to believe that no one was knocking on Farnsworth's door at the trade deadline this year with that right arm that he possesses.
Well, he's usually one of the guys that is talked about every trading deadline. It's going to roll foul, or Gordon will pick it up.
I believe he had some issues this year that had him on the disabled list. That's probably one of the reasons why teams didn't come a-calling for him. But there have been teams in the past that have made deals for Farnsworth at the trade deadline, and when he got there, he hadn't pitched very well.
Tigers originally traded him away and then traded for him at the deadline last year. And that Pudge Rodriguez deal. Swing and a miss, and he takes care of Granderson to end the inning. So the 7th has gone by the wayside. We will head to the 8th. It's been all Kansas City today. They'll have Bloomquist, Meyer, and Butler on the way. The Royals on top of the Tigers 8-2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Olivo and Anderson with 3-run homers each in this game. Zach Greinke went 5 before departing, and Miguel Cabrera with a 2-run shot. His 30th home run of the year. And that is the only Detroit offense today, as they are down 8-2 as we go to the 8th. Figueroa back to work, and he throws a strike to the leadoff man, Willie Bloomquist. Been on base 3 times today. Couple of singles, hit by a pitch. Wave and a miss.
Nice little breaking ball there from Figueroa.
Figueroa was an all-star last year in A-ball in the Midwest League. In fact, was 12-2 at West Michigan before he was called up to High A, Lakeland, in the Florida State League. 1-2. Double-A experience this year, and again a couple of separate call-ups with Detroit. Two and two. Meyer and Butler to follow. We're in the 8th inning. Back up the middle. It's going to get through. Once it got by Figueroa, there was nobody there.
Bloomquist, he's just a pest.
Some kind of series he's having. 3 more hits today, which makes him 7 for 10.
He's just a pest.
There's Mitch Meyer. That's an even 10 hits for the Royals offense this afternoon. Two 2-0 on Meyer. And 3 balls and no strikes. Figueroa missing again. Alfredo had to come on in the 6th inning when Galarraga started the frame, but was knocked out, gave up a 3-run homer, hit a batter, walked a batter, gave up 3 hits.
Gene Lamont and Leland chopping it up there on the bench. Jim does not have a bench coach. Gene Lamont is the 3rd base coach, but he acts like a bench coach. And he will go over to the phone and get somebody up. And Rick Knapp will get up and he'll go out and have a chat with Figueroa.
Jeremy Bonderman warming up in the Detroit bullpen.
Bonderman pitched in back-to-back games a couple of days ago, and Leland commented on that in Tigers Live after the ball game and said that was big for Bonderman. And it's something that they're going to do a little bit more down the stretch. Bonderman pitching in back-to-back games to see how healthy he is down the stretch.
Here is Billy Butler with 2 on, nobody out. Way inside, 1-0.
The one guy they've pretty much been able to keep in check in this series is Butler. But all his teammates are getting loose.
Really up and down the entire lineup. Butler has a hit today, a single, and scored a couple of runs. But when you look at his numbers overall in the series, 1 for 11, you'll certainly take that against Billy Butler in a 3-game set.
Billy Butler trying to finish the year hitting 300. He's hitting 299 right now. And And he'll hit 300 for quite a few years in the big leagues if he stays healthy. At age 23, one of your better looking hitting prospects in all of baseball.
He has racked up 46 doubles this year. Hal McRae owns the Royals single season record of 54. That was done a while ago in 1977.
He will develop some power as well. Some of those doubles will turn into home runs as he matures and learns how to go for the home run in certain situations. And we watched that with Joe Mauer this year in Minnesota. Mauer has doubled his home run total. And you could see this year 17 home runs for Billy Butler. He's only going to get better.
The power numbers have increased every year. Figueroa's 1-2. Line drive caught by Inge at third.
Get the married men off the infield.
Whoa. An absolute missile. It looked like it almost knocked Inge down. A little pirouette, little slide over there, but that was wicked.
This was an absolute seed off the bat of Butler. And it got to Inge in a hurry. And runners didn't get picked off because they could only take a step before that ball got into Inge's glove.
Here's Mike Jacobs. No hits today for Jacobs, 0 for 3. He does have a walk. 10 hits total for the Royals this afternoon, and a couple of them were really big. Olivo hit the 3-run homer in the 3rd, and then Josh Anderson hit the 3-run homer in the 6th. Tigers, like they have in all 3 games in this series, fell behind early in this one. 2-0 on Mike Jacobs. .32 home runs last year, only 17 this season in his first year in the American League. Previous time in the National League with Florida and the Mets. 3 balls, no strikes.
A little tougher to hit in the American League than it is in the National League. I think the balance of power has kind of switched. Well, really for the last 10 years or so. Your better players have been in the American League. I'm not saying there's not good players in the National League, but overall, it's a better game over here, power-wise, power pitching-wise, you name it, a lot of it.
Well, the walk is going to load the bases, and here comes Jim Leland.
Ooh, way too many base on balls today.
That is the truth. Bonderman will be checking into this one. And Figueroa gives up the baseball as Bonderman comes in. We'll step aside, take a break. 8-2 KC. Well, here's the calendar remaining for the Tigers. The end of September and into October this year. We're going a little bit later, but as you see that road trip coming up, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday should tell us a whole lot about where the Tigers may be ending up this year.
Absolutely. On the 21st, that Monday, the Tigers will have a really good idea of just how they're stacking up in their division, which they have led since May the 10th.
And after today, only 16 games remain.
Where has the season gone?
Here's Jeremy Bonderman. He'll take over for Detroit.
He pitched in 14 games in Toledo, and he won one of those games and lost 4. But really, you don't factor that into the equation when you're talking about a Bonderman. You're simply looking at health and arm speed, arm strength, all of the above. The numbers really don't matter.
There's Callaspo with the bases full and only 1 out for Kansas City, already leading at 8-2. Tigers pitching has had 6 walks in this game today
and 1 hit batter.
Big swing there by Callaspo, 1-1. Royals meanwhile have posted another 10-hit game. All 3 games in this series they've had 10 or more. The bats have showed up. Now the 1-1. Jeremy Bonderman replaces Figueroa, who replaced Galarraga. The starter today was Edwin Jackson. He went 5 innings. And he is the pitcher of record for Detroit. Three and 1.
Well, Callaspo's sitting in a really pretty count right now. 3 balls and 1 strike. And it seems like a lot of the Kansas City Royals have hit in these types of counts today.
Count is full.
Good little 2-seam fastball there by Bonderman. Callaspo was asking home plate umpire Paul Emmel, was it a strike?
Driven down the right field line, hooking, foul ball. Just foul. A couple of feet. Otherwise, Callaspo might have cleaned the bases there. He's already got himself a 2-run double in this game. Callaspo at one time a prospect in the Angels organization. In the air to shallow center field. Looks like trouble, and it is. It drops in, a base hit. Everybody moves up 90 feet. A run scores. Bloomquist is in to make it 9-2. And even when he doesn't make solid contact, Callaspo's driving in a run against the Tigers.
Everything has gone right for Kansas City in this series.
Bloomquist had to wait to make sure that ball dropped, and it did, and he scores easily. 4 RBI today for Roberto Callaspo. Here's Miguel Olivo. Base is still loaded, 1 out. Olivo had a big 3-run shot that came back in the 3rd off the starter Edwin Jackson. One of 2 3-run homers today for Kansas City, and they now have 11 hits.
They have come in here to Comerica Park and really flex their muscles with all the home runs they've hit. And you're talking about a team that does not hit home runs.
And one of their better home run hitters out with an injury in Jose Guillen. Anderson has hit one out today. You don't expect it from him. 0-2 on Olivo. Swing and a miss. Olivo is retired. Bases stay loaded with 2 outs. Bonderman has his first strikeout.
It's a good two-seam fastball here by Bonderman. You can see that ball chasing Olivo down and in. He started his swing, and when he finished it, that ball was around his back foot. Good late life with that two-seam fastball.
There's Alex Gordon on base in each of his last 2 at-bats. It'll sail toward foul territory and back out of play. Gordon was the top-rated high school player coming out of the state of Nebraska after his senior year, but he wasn't drafted because he made it well known that he wanted to go on and play college ball at the University of Nebraska, and eventually became a #1 pick. Born in Lincoln, 25 years old, Alex Gordon. 1 short year in the minor leagues, but it was a big year at AA a couple of years ago, 06.
That's one of the things that changed about the game the last 10 years. There are a lot of players like Gordon who are spending just a half a season, 1 year in the minor leagues, and being pressed into duty for the big league club.
Not much seasoning. I think some of those guys, though, that come out of big colleges, you know, they might tend to get to the big leagues quicker.
Guys like Beckham, guys like Gordon. It used to be where farm directors, they wanted to give you about 1,000 at bats in the minor leagues before they called you up to the big leagues. Not so these days.
Santiago tags the bag for the 4th side, retired. They get another run, though, as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We tell you Tigers baseball is presented by Bell Tire. And back here at Comerica Park, where it has been all Kansas City this afternoon, 9-2 in the series finale between these two teams, and the season series as well coming to an end. This will be the last game that these two teams play. And the Tigers will send Polanco to the plate here as we go to the Bottom of the 8th. Tigers have been out hit 11-5 in this game as Luis Hernandez enters the ball game now at third. And Brian Pena is the new catcher. 2-0 to Polanco. Polanco had a single in the third. He's also walked and he has scored a run. 2-1. Farnsworth coming out of the pen throwing 97 on that pitch. Guillen will follow. And then Cabrera. Farnsworth back in 05 with the Tigers. Pitched some pretty good ball. They was eventually traded to Atlanta. Pitched in 46 games that year with the Tigers. Had an ERA in the low 2s. After the trade, went on to save 10 games for the Braves down the stretch.
And then he signed a 3-year contract with the New York Yankees.
Tapped toward third base. Hernandez. 1 out. Yeah, there was some thought that Farnsworth might stick around with Atlanta, but it didn't happen. Well, looks like we're going to need the trainer again. This time it's Farnsworth. Dropping like flies for the Royals. And there he is. Well, Zach Greinke was originally hit by a pitch. Well, Farnsworth is hurt.
What did he do? Twist his ankle, look like, when he landed?
Well, Farnsworth now will try and continue here. We'll get a few warm-up tosses. Chen was hurt. They have more action now. Yabuta throwing again.
Farnsworth spent almost 2 months on the disabled list with a right groin strain.
Frank Kite is their trainer, and he's been the busiest man all day. And he'll head back to the bench.
He's going to have to ice his hamstrings after this.
Looks like Farnsworth's going to stay in, though. So Guillen the batter with 1 out. Carlos 0 for 3. With the right-hander out there, Guillen is back to batting left-handed. He was hitting right-handed against Chen in his last at bat. First time since coming off the DL he batted right-handed. 1-1. He ended up popping up in that at bat. Way high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Not a whole lot going on offensively for the Tigers today. They've managed just 5 hits. One of them left the ballpark, the Cabrera home run in the 6th, breaking the shutout bid. That's in the air toward left center. Meyer under it. 2 gone. So that's going to bring up Cabrera with the bases empty.
And Cabrera loves to swing at that first pitch, and he got himself A first pitch fastball from Chin, and didn't miss it.
It was number 30 on the season for Cabrera. 30th home run of the year, and RBIs 90 and 91. Ground ball to short. Farnsworth will have a 1-2-3 inning. Tigers are done. We go to the ninth. It is 9-2 KC. With the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. On our way to the ninth inning, 9-2. The Royals in the lead, looking to take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers in this series. Got some changes defensively. Marcus Thames enters the game. He'll play first base. Don Kelly will slide over to second base. Bouncing ball hit the left side of the infield, where Brent DeLucich has taken over at third, and he throws Betancourt out of there, one gone.
I was talking to DeLucich before the game while they were taking a batting practice today, and he said he only played in 3 games at third base in AAA.
That's it.
That's it.
Wilkin Ramirez also in the game out in right field. So a whole host of changes here in the ninth inning for the Tigers defensively. Bonderman deals a strike to Josh Anderson.
I was talking to DeLucich before the game, and I said, "Do you have a nickname?" And he said, "Some people call me Loogie. Some people call me Doogie." He said, "Those are for the people that can't pronounce my name." I said, "Well, I would fall into that category. What can I call you?"
Which one did you choose? Loogie or Doogie?
I started calling him Doogie.
Just combine them both and call him DeLugie.
It's funny sometimes down there around that batting cage.
Well, DeLucich just happy to be able to get in. It had been a while since he was called up, but he actually got into a game on this homestand, actually. There's Bloomquist with 2 outs. Another big day for Bloomquist. 3 more hits. Bonderman drops in a breaking ball, 0-1. Seven hits in this 3-game series for Bloomquist. Shoots that one to right field. There's another hit.
Yeah, make that 8.
Ramirez goes over to get it, and Bloomquist holding up.
He's tired.
A 4-hit day for Willie Bloomquist.
What a series.
He's making a late push for that batting average.
Salary drop.
12 hits for Kansas City. Here's Mitch Meyer.
That last month of the season, if you're in the Royals situation and you're not going anywhere, you may as well try to get you a good salary for next year.
Pad the numbers?
Pad the numbers. Have something to argue in the offseason.
Well, Bloomquist is doing just that. Meyer walked in his last 2 at-bats. He's also fanned twice in this game. Two and 0 on Mitch Meyer. Driven to right field. Ramirez coming on to make the catch. Hit extremely hard and hooking away from Wilkin Ramirez, who stayed with it.
Pitch by pitch is all about Zach Greinke in this ball game this afternoon. He pitched only 5 innings, but he had 8 strikeouts. The command with the fastball is unbelievable. It's at the knees, it's inside, it's outside. And then when you start to look for that, he'll drop that slide piece on you, and he'll get quite a few strikeouts with that pitch as well. He had 8 strikeouts, 5 of which were looking, and I'm sure with his outing today, he may sway a few more of those voters out there that vote for the Cy Young.
I would assume that will be the case.
Soria just needs some work.
He'll come in with a 9-2 lead. Aubrey Huff leads it off. Swings on the first pitch. Heading back to the seats and out of play.
The Mexicution. And that's his nickname. And I guess for Kansas City, that pretty much means lights out when Soria enters the game. He commands the fastball anywhere from 89 to 92. He's got a curveball, he's got a slider, he's got a change. And he's got a mean streak in him, too. He's not afraid of pitching in the 9th inning.
No balls, 2 strikes on Aubrey Huff.
Justin White did a pretty nice piece on Soria a couple of days ago.
And may find a hole. Betancourt. Ooh, he almost turned that play. Huff is aboard on a single.
Justin was asking the pitching coach, Bob McClure, did he ever think that Soria would be a starting pitcher? And Bob McClure said, I don't know, but he said it would be interesting because And most closers don't have 4 pitches, and Soria does have 4 pitches, and he throws all 4 pitches in a save situation.
Which also brings up the debate, which is more useful to a team or more important to a team, a guy that goes out and starts every 5th day or a guy that can close games.
I go with a starting pitcher, but I know there are some people that believe the closer is more important than a starter.
Well, I guess I would go with the starting pitcher as well if he could have that type of success as a starter.
I know Jim Leland, he goes the other way. He likes that close, and he brought up Mariano Rivera's name when he was making the argument. And we talked about all those games that he comes in late, and just to know that you've got a guy at the back of your bullpen that's going to pretty much at the end of the day get that save for you is huge. I will say this much: there's nothing more demoralizing to a team than a blown save late in the game where you've pretty much dominated the game all day.
That'll get away from the catcher. Avila is out, but Huff will be able to go to second base.
There's that slow breaking ball. Soria and Greinke both have this real slow breaking ball. They throw it about 65, 66 miles an hour.
One out, runner at second. Here's Don Kelly. Strikeout, wild pitch is the official ruling to allow the runner to go to second. Kelly lines one to right. That's a base hit. Huff coming to third. They're going to stop him there. And Don Kelly singles off Soria.
Well, Soria's going to have to treat this as it's a save situation if he's not going to give up any runs here. So many times the closers come into games late and the save's not on the line. That same intensity's not there. And several closers give up runs in these situations.
Here's Brent DeLugich. Swings and one way out of the strike zone. And now he's behind in the count 0-2. DeLugich 0 for 2 in his big league career, still in search of that first major league hit. Soria has given up singles to Huff and Kelly. Well, Joaquin Soria has really accomplished a lot already, considering he was a Rule 5 draft selection. And here he is in the big leagues with another big save season. Almost hit him.
Another one of those slow breaking balls at 66 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss. DeLugich is out and 2 gone.
What was that?
Here's another look.
Well, here's the grip. It's a changeup, but look at the movement. That ball, once it got toward home plate, just took a drastic right turn. Look at this thing. That's why there are some believe he could be a starter.
Tigers down to their last chance now. Santiago.
Tigers came into this homestand with a tremendous record, but they are going to lose 5 of the 7 games.
Isn't that amazing? They beat
some bad losses too. I mean, there's a good loss and there's a bad loss. I mean, no loss is good, but some of the losses they've had here lately have just not been good losses, and it started in Kansas City last week.
Tigers actually will get 3 wins. They beat Toronto twice and Kansas City once. But this is a Tigers team that has been around 20 over 500 at home a good portion of the second half. They'll turn to Porcello tomorrow in Minnesota.
I would expect that the energy level will go way up tomorrow.
I think so.
Regardless of what has happened here today in this homestand. When they get to Minnesota tomorrow, there will be some serious pep in their step.
And there's a walk. It's going to load the bases. Well, tomorrow it's going to be Dunsing and Porcello in game 1, Verlander and Pavano in game 2, and we're thinking probably Nate Robertson, Scott Baker in game 3.
Scott Baker's been their best pitcher. It's a big series.
Here's Clee Thomas, his first at bat. Rolled foul. I think you're right, though. I think certainly as we head down the stretch now, you've got 3 at the Metrodome. The final 3 appearances for the Tigers in that ballpark, by the way, because it's going bye-bye at the end of the year. For the Twins. That'll certainly be a series in which the Tigers will have to step it up. And they have struggled in that ballpark this year.
No Justin Morneau. He will be done for the year with an ailing back. So that means Mauer. He may as well not even bring his bat, because I wouldn't let him play.
What, you take it away from him?
Yeah.
Just walk him
go to first base. See you later, buddy. Take a trot down there. Softball rules. Don't even have to throw 4 balls up there. Just umpire tap you on the shoulder. Hey, they're giving you first base.
I don't think you can do that. That's fouled off.
I played softball 1 year, and it was right after my playing career was over, so I was still pretty good
shape.
Still pretty good shape. And it was a church league too. And I'd go out there and play defense every single inning, and then I'd go to home plate, and then the umpire would say, "You go to first." I said, "No, I want to hit." He said, "No, they're putting you on." And that lasted for about a couple of weeks, and I said, "I'll see you guys later. I could find something else to do on Monday night." Yeah, I quit. I said, "I'm not coming out here to walk every day. I want to play."
But you got to play defense.
Well, that was no fun. What fun is that? You go play defense, then you go hit, and you can't play.
Make great diving catch in the outfield.
Felt like Barry Bonds back in his prime.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him play either. Swing and a miss, and Thomas is out, and that is that. So the Tigers will drop 2 out of 3 to the Kansas City Royals. A disappointing homestand, and hopefully better things ahead on the road trip beginning tomorrow night in Minnesota.
Let's hope so.
Right now we send it down to Mickey York for a preview of